So Republican Senate candidate for Ohio, Mark Paquita, has made what some call a controversial statement in a recent campaign ad. The ad urges Ohio voters to be aware of frontrunner Republican candidate Josh Mandel when voting in the primary. In Paquita's ad, he points to Mandel being Jewish and a facade. Take a listen.
You said that the businesses should take care of their own workers.
Are we seriously supposed to believe the most Christian values Senate candidate is Jewish? I am so sick of these phony caricatures.
Oh, I agree. If we keep electing people like this, we'll just keep getting the same terrible results.
I like Paquita. He's authentic, unlike these other people. You can learn more about him at markforohio.com. That's Ohio.com.
I'm Mark Paquita, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
And joining us now to explain is Republican Senate candidate for Ohio, Mark Paquita. Welcome, Mark, to the show.
Good morning.
Hi, Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Terrence. How are you?
Doing well.
Okay, so you first mention in this ad Josh Mandel being Jewish. Explain what you're getting to in that ad.
Well, Josh has been running his campaign with the help of a far-right conservative activist out of evangelical churches. And he's been promoting Judeo-Christian values, yet if you look at his history, he doesn't live by those values. So we're calling it out because I think we're at a point in Ohio and the country where we need to get real about the candidates and what they represent. In the Republican Party, we've probably had 50 years of the Republican Party, both at the national and state level, cramming down candidates on us who are insiders, you know, what you would consider to be, or we would consider to be, swamp rhino candidates. And that's just got to stop. I mean, for example, Josh has been running for office since he left the womb. He's been in the military. I thank him for his service, but he's never really had a job in the private sector. Yet he wants to go to Washington and tell people how to live their lives and legislate in that regard. And I'm just going to call that out. I'm a citizen candidate, never run for office before, and we're going to call it like it is. I'm 0% anti-Semitic. I'm 100% anti-fraud, anti-facade.
Everything you just said had nothing whatsoever to do with anyone's spiritual standing.
Correct.
All of the points you just made had to do specifically with character, if you will, with ability, but nothing to do with spiritual standing. So why even bring that up? That's dirty politics, a lot of people would say.
You mean me or someone else bringing that up?
No, why would you bring that up in the ad is the question.
Well, we brought it up in the ad because the reason we did those ads, they were 3 ads. We played them one time during a Senate forum held by the Center for Christian Virtue. And they shut me out of that Senate forum because they didn't want me on the stage because I am the only non-rhino, non-insider, non-establishment candidate. And I happen to call it like I see them. And that Christian organization actually doctored a document of qualification criteria and didn't give it to us until it was too late for me to qualify. I could have qualified if I'd had a few more days. All I would have had to do is move $1 million of my own assets into my campaign account. And they sent us the document very late on a Friday night, and we just didn't have the time to transfer the money. I'm running a very interesting campaign in terms of self-funding it and running it on a small budget. And I'm only putting money in when I need it, Terrence, as opposed to doing what most candidates do, and that's loaning the campaign $5 million or $10 million and then saying, hey, look at us. We've got all this money in our campaign account. It's a facade. It's a game, and it's time for it to stop. So we're calling it out.
And Mark, I want to know, and if you can be quite honest with us, have you received any backlash or criticism for this ad that's been run and been widely heard, or are people praising it?
I think it's a coin flip. It depends on, what your perspective is. If you're a Josh supporter, you don't like it. If you're a grassroots Republican GOP voter, I'm getting lots of accolades for calling out the lack of character and the facade and the act that Josh puts on. And I'll tell you this. The other candidates, when I've talked to them, backstage or at events, have been saying the same thing about kind of the irony of the way Josh is running his campaign. You can go back in his history. You just do a Google search. He treats campaign workers with some level of lack of respect. He charged one of his opponents in the past of being a Muslim when he was just an AME congregant.
Mark, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm curious. Like, you're bringing up all these points, but why not focus the ad on those points then? Why not? Why focus on his religion? Because really, that ad is about religion. It's not about character. It's not about his resume.
No, actually, it wasn't. It was about lack of honesty in terms of saying, hey, I'm running my campaign out of evangelical Christian churches, but he's not being as blatant about other issues. So I'm telling you that ad had nothing to do with religion or faith and everything to do with facade, Taryn.
All right, Mark Paquita, I want to say, first and foremost, I appreciate you coming on to explain the ad because it is quite controversial. And I do want to make it very clear to our viewers that I tried to have both you and Josh on to kind of discuss it. That was not able to happen. His camp was not for that. So I appreciate you coming on. We will speak to Josh separately tomorrow about this and more. So thank you once again for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right.